This is Ryan Abraham and Dan Weber, USCFootball.com. Instant analysis here on a Wednesday at Howard Jones Field. The very first practice of the Ed Orgeron era here at Howard Jones Field, USC. There's a lot more laughing going on in the media scrum at the end than we've seen in years.
He was good, people asking him where he got the blood on his leg, just a little cleat, and he was fun. He started off, the first line was he walked up, 43 media people I counted, it was by far the most this year, and he said, "Where you guys been?" And they started looking around, everybody. He's a natural, there's no question, and that's what he said. I have to be me. He said, I didn't take my shirt off like he did at Ole Miss one day, and he said they didn't like that very much. But he said, I was in better shape then. But, he said he loved getting involved with the offense. He said, I love yelling at the quarterback. And Cody said, I love hearing him yell at me. That's good. And talked a little bit about Lane, about how much Lane had done for him and, how good they've been to him. And, he's followed Lane in, a couple of big jobs. But he said, we had a plan. We worked hard at it. It just didn't work. And he admitted it didn't work.
And now they have a new plan. He said he needed to do something different. Part of that was opening up practice to the media.
Absolutely. He said that was, and more references really to Pete Carroll and what he picked up from Pete Carroll. And that was one of them. We want you here. We want you part of this. We don't have anything to hide. And we want, we're opening it up. So it was a no-brainer. It was kind of, and he also went down the list of not just who was injured, but what the injury was and when they expect them back. It's just, we're not used to that for sure.
Speaking of those injuries, Marquise Lee with a knee sprain day to day. What are some of the other guys?
Morgan Breslin with a hip strain, hoping that he's back. Justin Davis sprained an ankle there toward the end, doesn't know for sure. Devon Flournoy and Darius Rogers, two wide receivers, both with ankle sprains that they think might be, possibly coming back. Devon looked a little bit farther away. We didn't see Darius, but we understand Russ Romano, the trainer, was going to have him out running. So I don't know. But until then, right now they don't have anybody to catch punts. All their punt catchers are basically gone. Although Sewell was back.
Yeah.
Sewell looked completely healthy. So when he said after the game the other night that he just fell on his ribs awkwardly and it was okay, he's okay.
Yeah, they had Nelson Aguilar and I think Kevon Seymour back there returning punts earlier in this.
Exactly.
Kevin Graff too was also out.
Yeah, we don't know exactly what that was. It's right. That one he get a report on Kevin Graff. He came out early dressed, and then he went into rehab, and then came out and he wasn't dressed. And they were running in, Nathan Gertler and Nico Falla and all kinds of guys. They were physical. It was kind of a 2-hour practice, a little longer actually than I think they thought it would be. But he was, I was pleased with the the physicality.
Clay Helton's going to manage the offense and call plays from the sideline. I thought he'd be doing up in the box, but they changed that up.
I think it's because he has a dual role with the quarterbacks as well. I'm guessing. It'll be interesting to see. He doesn't have nearly as we see Clay walking off now. His play calling sheet isn't as large, and I know the kids were thrilled over the summer that he simplified, the playbook. He was the guy dealing with the quarterbacks, and and they liked that. And I thought, during the spring, as Cody said, he called the plays during spring. We really liked that. We really liked working with him. One of the things that happened during the spring is I thought the plays were called with more of a rhythm and a little quicker. There wasn't quite that, staring at the play sheet to come up with exactly the right call.
And one last thing just on Cody Kessler. Obviously, he's a guy that was really close to Lane Kiffin. What did he say about the coaching move and what they're doing from here?
Well, he said, Coach Orgeron is more like, he said, he's more like I am. I like somebody yelling at me. I like hearing that. I like the sound of that. He said he's so competitive. He said, obviously had gotten close to Lane. He mentioned after the Washington State game that Layla Kiffin in the locker came up and, tried to, console him after, really not a good game. And he said, so, we owe, kind of a lot to, the Kiffin family. But he said, and one thing you can say about Coach O, he's competitive. He said, that's, and he said, it's a good feeling.
All right, well, a very exciting practice here on Howard Jones Field. For Dan Weber, this is Ryan Abraham. Check out USCFootball.com for more.